Hi, my name is Paula. I work with Real Living Key Realty, and I decided to record this video because a lot of people have been asking me what I think is going to happen with the economy and especially with the housing market uh, with this recession hitting. But before I start, I just wanted to say I hope you're having a wonderful day today, enjoying the sun, the beautiful Sunday. Today's Palm Sunday, and I just also wanted to thank all the medical workers and all the essential workers for all their service to us. I really appreciate all you have been doing, and I wanted you guys to know, if any of you are listening, that I do pray for you every day. I pray for safety and for health, and I pray that this will end soon. So a lot of people still remember what happened in the crash, into the recession of 2007 to 2009 and the housing crash. And people are wondering if this is going to happen again. But most specialists don't think this is going to happen. And these are the reasons. Number one, what is taking place today is nothing like the last time. The S&P 500 did fall over 50% from October 2007 to March 2009, and home values did depreciate in 2007, 8, and 9. But that was because the economic slowdown was mainly caused by the collapse in the real estate market and the meltdown in the mortgage market. This time, the stock market correction is being caused by an outside event, which is the coronavirus, with no connection to the housing industry. Many experts are saying that the current situation is much more like what happened during the 9/11. As example, David Rosenbell explains that what 9/11 has in common with what is happening today is that this shock has also generated fear and anxiety among the public. Then people avoided crowds because they were afraid of another terrorist attack. Now it's because they're afraid of getting sick. The same parts of the economy are under pressure: the airline, the hospitality, restaurants, and services in general. But since the current situation is similar to the stock market correction in the early 2000s, let's review what happened to the home values during that time. So between 2000 and 2002, the S&P 500 fell 45%. However, during that same period, homes appreciated nicely during and had no, so that stock market correction had not any negative impact on home values. Number two, mortgage standards are nothing like they were back then. During the housing bubble, it was very hard not to be able to be approved for mortgage. Mortgages, everyone was getting approved. Today it's very hard to be approved for a mortgage. The Mortgage Bankers Association releases a mortgage credit availability index, which is a summary measure which indicates the availability of mortgage credit at a point in time. The higher the index, the easiest it is to get a mortgage. As you can see in this graph, it was very easy before and was hard. It's hard today, much harder than even in 2004, leading to the housing bubble. Number three, prices are not soaring out of control like they were before. If you look at these graphs, the 6 years leading to the housing crash, prices were soaring, you know. In the 6 years now, up to today, prices have increased, but they are not soaring out of control. Normal appreciation is about 3.6%. So even though we are higher than normal, we are not out of control like before. And the reason why we are higher is because we have a shortage of inventory in the market. That's our next point. At that time, there was a surplus of homes. And the normal uh, inventory for it's about 6% to sustain a normal real estate market, about 6 months of inventory. Anything that's more than that will cause price to depreciate. Anything that's less than that will cause price to appreciate. As this graph shows, there were too many homes for sale in 2007, which causes the price to go down. But today, there's a shortage of inventory, cause the price to increase. Also, homes became too expensive to buy. The affordability formula has three components: price of the home, wages earned, and mortgage rate available at the time. In 2006, prices were high, wages were low, and the mortgage rates were over 6%. Today, prices are still high, but wages have increased and the mortgage rate is about 3.5%, which uh, that means that a family will spend less of their monthly income towards their mortgage than they did back then. Also, now people are more equity rich. As you can see, uh, between 2005 and 2007, people were taking a lot of equity out of their homes. As soon as they built equity, they would withdraw like it was an ATM machine. And but people learned their lesson, and now these 3 last years, people withdrew about $500 billion less than they did on those early 2000 years. During the crash, home values began to fall, and then sellers found themselves in a negative equity, which caused them to not be able to pay their mortgage, and then they had to foreclose or short sale, and that caused houses to be sold at discount, and the homes in the area are devaluated, and that won't happen today. And lastly, but not least, with the exception of the 2008 recession, which was caused by the housing bubble, all the other four previous recessions did not affect the housing price too much. As you can see, either it was stable or continued to grow, according to CoreLogic National Price Index, which is very good news. In regards to the economy as a whole, when we look at the GDP, a survey of the three leading financial institutions show a projected sharp decline followed by a steep rebound in the second half of this year. And this is being predicted by Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Morgan Stanley. A recent study from John Burns Consulting also notes that the past three pandemics have also created a V-shaped economic recoveries, like the ones noted in this graph, and they had minimal impact in housing prices. So this certainly gives us hope and optimism for what is to come as the crisis passes. So I hope this was helpful to you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me.